Izzy, how good does that feel?
Yeah, really special. I knew that we were creating something truly unique this year, and I think that really all comes from Strangey here. He's really, I think, instilled this confidence within every single player that, you know, they can do pretty incredible things. And I think we've bonded so well this year, and I've said that in a few interviews, but I think we showcased that tonight.
Was there any sense of, because like the conditions tonight were very reminiscent of Game 2 last year, was there any sense of like, we need to make sure history doesn't repeat itself?
Nah, and I think that's what I loved about it. We went out there and trained in the rain, and Strangey got us to see what it was like, get our hands on the ball, and I thought we played some pretty good footy, but to, you know, have the conditions that we had, to be honest.
How good is it to have wrapped up the series and not have to go and win a decider like you were in the position you were in last year?
Yeah, look, it's unreal. Like, it's really hard for me to put into words, but in saying that, I'm always someone that likes to do it all the way to the end, and I want to make sure that we get that last win. I think we're creating history and really showcasing how we play as the Blues, and it's taken a few years to get to that, but I think we're really, you know, showcasing what we can do, and I want to make sure that we get that win on home soil in Newcastle.
Is that the goal now, John? Blue Rinse?
Oh, look, every game that we go into, we want to win. So, yeah, it doesn't matter whether it was 1-1 or 2-0. We just spoke about that in the sheds. Yeah, it's about us. Like, even that win, it was great. And I said to the girls, it was, you know, obviously they got their goal was to win the series, but what I was really impressed with was how they played. You know, I know the result matters, and that's that's where we're at in the industry we're in, and it's results based. But for me, it's always about how we play. And that's what I'm really proud of all the 17 girls tonight, how they actually played tonight. Yeah, more so than the win, if I'm being honest.
How tough were the conditions? Because like even before the match started, like there were pools on the pitch.
Mm.
Like how much harder does that make?
Yeah, it was tough.
Things?
Obviously, you could see that there was a few areas, but I don't know. I love something about when things get tough that you really stand up to try and put your best foot forward. So a lot of the girls were saying how they love playing in these conditions, and I think that's one of the best mindsets to have when that happens. But yeah, it was tough, but at the end of the day, we knew we wanted to get this done. We knew we had a job to do, and I thought we showcased that.
Yeah. What was maybe said at halftime? Because I think even though you guys were up, I think maybe the completion rate in the first half was like 60%. I think second half might have been 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
21 out of 21 in the second half. Which once again, they're the things that I'm so proud of the girls. And we didn't just tuck the ball under the arm either. We wanted to play footy. You know, we wanted to take it to Queensland. It wasn't just about, you know, looking at the conditions and trying to just do one out hit ups for a kick and sort of hope for the best. It was, no, we're going to still play footy, and that's why I'm so proud of the girls, because they did that. They still played all their shapes. Completed. You know, there was a little bit of talk about, you know, we're coming out of yardage, we'll kick early and turn them around, put them in their corner. And then Jessie did that. Her kicking game was outstanding, but the kick chase from everyone else was even better, you know. It was, like I said, I'm just so proud of them, of how they played. So, yeah, didn't take the foot off the pedal in the second half, played our footy in those conditions, and then backed it up with the defence. It was, yeah.
Izzy, what can you say about Jessie Southwell's performance and how far she's grown? Like her kicking game tonight was.
Yeah, she's unreal, isn't she? She's really come out of her shell this whole campaign that we've had, and I think you can see that on the field now. She's so well respected within our group and leads us around so well. We've got a lot of big names within our team, but she steps up every single time and makes sure that we're listening to her. But me personally, I think I've loved seeing her growth. I've loved seeing, I knew under Stranger she was going to shine, and she's really taken everything in that he said. So, I'm really proud of her. I love playing next to her. I think, her attack is pretty incredible, but you got to really look at her defence too. She's one of the most solid halves in defence. So, I always feel really confident with her next to me.
What about for you, John? She's 20 years old. She was recalled this season. Like, how impressive is she? Yeah,
she's great. I mean, we've all seen, I was watching her even before she came into the NRLW, played with in the sevens, and just an athletically very good. She's a strong runner. Her passing skills are great both ways. You've got a really good kicking game. So for me, I just thought it'd be a great person to actually coach, and then coach her into the sort of style that we wanted to play here with the New South Wales, with she being the dominant half on the ball, being in control and having the Tiana sort of be that running six to complement her. I'm just really proud of how Jessie's taken it all in. Like, she's asked questions from myself and even the more senior girls in this whole 6-week block, and she just wanted to learn and be the best player that she could. And I thought she was great, but she's got a really high ceiling, and I don't think she's reached it yet. Which is exciting for New South Wales.
And can you give us an update on Jess Surgis? How is she?
Yeah, she's fine now. She copped a bit of a not really sure. There's a few girls got a few crushes in the first half that. Yeah, which is disappointing, but so I'm not really sure. Like, she was a bit disorientated at half time, so I spoke to her. She was with the medics, and so we just sort of said, look, go off. And I said to her, you can come back on the second half. But at that point, she wasn't great, and obviously then she didn't go back on. Directly after the game, she was still a bit, sort of, like I said, a bit disorientated, but. Yeah, probably about 15 minutes after full time, she started to sort of get back to herself, and she was out on the sideline and soaking wet like everyone else, but shivering, and just a few things that she probably needed to get rugged up a little bit, and but she was good. So right now she's fine, but whether she plays game 3 or not, we'll see. That'll be up to the docs. We won't be pushing anyone to play if they're not ready, but thankfully for her, she's good right now.
And what about Jamie?
Yeah, no, she'll be fine. Yeah, she wanted to go back on actually. Yeah, so but I'm not really sure what happened there. I thought it was cramped there for a while, and then she was had the pickle juice going and stuff like that. So, but then she couldn't run, so we needed to bring her off. Had Emma Tonagato out there, so she slotted straight in onto the wing. So there's no issues there. But then, Chapo said that she was right to go back on, but I was just happy to leave Emery out there and make sure that Chapo's 100% for game 3.
Izzy, just about Olivia Koenig, she had a great game, and you play with her week in, week out at the Roosters. Like, what is it about her that makes her such a good player?
She really understands footy. She's really smart. She loves to learn. Same thing, she asks a lot of questions, and she's well respected within our group. I think when Liv talks, everyone really listens, and I think she's a really great leader within our Blues, and obviously back at Roosters for me as well. So, I had a feeling tonight she was really going to shine, and I thought she really led our forward pack really well, but she opens up space for everyone, to be honest, especially when she runs. So, I was really proud of her tonight.
John, creating a bit of a victorious name for yourself as a coach, how does it feel? Izzy said it before, it couldn't have been done without you. How does it feel to have inspired and put together a group of girls to go out there and create Blues history?
Look, honest.
Sorry, he hates these questions.
Yeah, I do. But honestly, like, we had a squad of 30 girls in New South Wales, and they were all amazing in this 6-week block. And it was the hardest thing for me to cut that down to 20, and then to go into camp for Origin 1, then to 17. It's actually come from them pushing each other, because their competitions for spots has been right there. Like, from the start, when I was really open and honest with the girls on induction day, I don't know who's going to play in game 1, and that's exactly how I felt. And it was up to the girls to to work really hard and understand what we wanted to do. But the depth that we have in New South Wales, all the girls, I believe that's why they played like they have in these 2 games, because it's who they are. And the 17 we picked, just unbelievable. So it literally is these girls. They're fantastic.
Now that you do have the series, is game 3, I guess, a good option to give some of those other girls an opportunity?
Look, I've thought about that, to be honest, but I've also thought, even before today, like, if we did wrap it up, but then there's also a part of me that I feel like I've got to respect the girls that have earned, the right to go up there, and potentially go for a clean sweep. So. Yeah, because look, it's a good question, and I have thought about that. But to be honest, I think it's more about me respecting the players that have taken the field tonight and done what they've done. So that's where I've landed. I like your question, because I did think about that, because there's so many girls that have missed out, that have trained so well and pushed all these girls. But I just feel it's about respecting the players that have earned the right to play in game 3.
John, Jamie Frassard, 3 tries, 2 games. How impressive have you been with her, and how much has she exceeded your expectations?
I don't know about exceeding expectations. That's kind of what I expected from Frez. I know she hasn't got an opportunity before this year, But for me, the way she plays and the attitude, obviously I've recruited her for the Roosters because she's a winner. For me, you look at players when you're looking to, if you want to be successful, whether it's NRLW or at Origin, you need competitive people. They need to be talented, yes, but there's so many talented people. So for me, it's about the character that they have. And I know Frez's character. She's a competitor. She's a bit of a pit bull out there, as we can all see. And she never gives up on anything. So for me, it was a no-brainer that that she was an Origin player, and just obviously she's getting late 20s now. I think she's 27, but but she's made for this arena. So it wasn't a surprise to me. But saying that, also I'm really happy with how she went in tonight, and obviously in game 1. So yeah, finished that trial. That was amazing work. Where Izzy just brought in the winger just enough to give her a little bit of space, but for her to actually score that try, that was incredible. But for me, it's everything she does, even out of yardage. She just wants to. She's fighting all the other girls for those yardage carries when they're running in on play 2, wall against girls that want to whack them, and she's pretty much pushing her teammates out of the way to have those carries. So that's that's why Izzy loves her. That's why all the girls love her, and yeah, she's built for this arena.